The other things she admits is that she was able to get her son back by doing a single sexual favor for the judge. He's about to get out of the elevator on his floor, and Valdespino shoves him back in, and he's like, we're gonna go meet somebody." So, basically, in the time, Lou found a another victim, and at this point, it's a woman, named Kiana who we had met in the first chapter, I think, when Claire goes to that first meeting at her job, where she counsels women on the weekends about their children being caught up in the juvenile justice system. And so Kiana, like, now has her child back. She is KJ because her the reason her child got caught up, in county custody is that her boyfriend at the time, he may still be her boyfriend, that's a whole different conversation, but her boyfriend at the time was, like, she calls slinging, but basically selling drugs, and after the tough on crime laws came into effect in the mid to late '90s, one of the things that happened is if one person in a house, especially if they're in public housing, was accused of a crime, they were evicted, and everybody else in in the residence lost their housing whether or not they were involved in the crime. It's pretty harsh, in my opinion. But that was probably still is, I don't think about this much, but that was the law of the land at the time, and so when her boyfriend was arrested for drug dealing, they were evicted, and because she was, like, temporarily homeless, because eviction does that to you, they took her child. One was that, but the other was that, and this was a thing that happened a lot, children were taken and it was assumed that if their mother was involved with somebody who was involved in the drug trade, then their mother had put them in a bad situation and therefore was not, like, adequately parenting, which to some extent is true, but to some extent, not every woman knows what every man is involved with. And it's especially when their dad, like, runs a business or runs a cash business, and nobody knows what they do. And, it's like the mafia wives, like, at some point, you may have, like, a sense that what they're doing is not on the up and up, but I don't know how it's a responsibility of somebody else to take them out of life of crime or go find somewhere else to live, and all of these things that they assume, like, a good wife or a good mother would do, but there are no social supports for that kind of thing.